A burglary in Cedar County turns into a standoff. Not with police, but with a 57-year-old woman armed with a concealed carry permit. KY3's David Katniss joins us now with this television exclusive.
Ethan, Jane Downey was house-sitting her sister's rural home just outside of Stockton during the first week of April. But once she got inside, what was waiting for her was no joke. As soon as Downey stepped inside, she knew something felt wrong. The heat was on. Beer bottle caps littered the kitchen counter.
That didn't set well.
It was enough to send her back outside.
I went out to the car and got my cell phone and got my gun and put my gun in my pocket.
Back inside, she locked the door behind her and slowly proceeded down the hall.
When I got to about here is when I saw there were some men's shoes in the bathroom.
That was enough to dial 911 to report a break-in.
I had figured that whomever had broken in was gone.
With help on the way, Downey stayed on the phone to explain the situation.
The 911 lady had said, "Well, don't shoot the sheriff." And I said, "Well, I'm not going to shoot the sheriff."
After hanging up, she continued to scope out the home, checking bedrooms and closets.
And then I noticed this break up here, and that really disturbed me.
With evidence of a forced entry, Downey next moved into her sister's bedroom.
And when I got in here, these two items on the bed were there, and they're not normally there.
Then in the bathroom, more signs.
The radio's not supposed to be there. There's dirty washcloths. The towel's been used.
By now, her hand was firmly on her gun.
The closet door was closed, and I don't normally have that door closed. And so I started to open the door, and that's when he said, "I'm still in here." I told him, that was a good place for him to stay.
With her .38 caliber Smith & Wesson pistol pointed at the man in one hand and her phone in the other, Downey again called 911.
I just felt in control. I had the feeling that he was afraid of the gun.
The man did everything Downey told him, and by time authorities arrived, she was the one who felt bad for him.
You don't want to shoot anybody, and that's not the reason for having concealed carry. The reason for having it is so that I'm not a victim.
This man has been charged with first-degree burglary, and Downey said it appears that he was in a pretty desperate situation.
So was he there just for a burglary?
Well, she did get to talk to him during this whole give and take, and she said that he was in town trying to stay at a relative's. The relatives didn't want to bring him in, so he was there looking for food and some shelter. And the other thing is that during his time, he took a bunch of pills, so a whole bottle of them, painkillers. So he needed medical attention. She felt like he was in a desperate situation trying to hurt himself. But amazing that she took a class, this concealed carry class, 2 years ago to be able to protect herself.
Well, a lot of people I know when this law was passed were fighting against it or wondering what would happen if it passed. And here's one thing.
Right. And she says, it's an example that people that use the concealed carry just aren't out to hurt people. This was a deterrent, the gun.
Okay. David Katniss, good story.